To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution number 1289 entitled Resolution Informing the President of the Philippines that the House of Representatives has convened its second special session and has entered upon the exercise of its functions by representatives from Romualdez, Ferdinand, and Abante.
To the Committee on Rules.
Pagkatapos niya. Message from the President. Speaker Alan Peter S. Cayetano, Speaker of the House, House of Representatives, Batasan Hills, Quezon City, dated 9 October 2020. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Article 6, Section 26(2) of the 1987 Constitution, I hereby certify to the necessity of the immediate enactment of House Bill number 7727 entitled An Act Appropriating Funds for the Operation of the Government of the Republic of the Philippines from January 1 to December 31, 2021 and for other purposes, in order to address the need to maintain continuous government operations following the end of the current fiscal year, strengthen efforts to respond more effectively to the COVID-19 pandemic, and support initiatives towards national economic recovery. Best regards, very truly yours, signed by the President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Rules. To the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, Your Honor,
Majority Leader.
I move that session be suspended.
Session suspended.
The picture, let's join him in front of the rostrum.
we request the members who wish to be seated and do not have tables to please occupy the first gallery seats. And may we request other staff to please occupy the second gallery. This is to observe in observance of proper social distancing. Thank you. Meron ako pinatanggal lang.
Resume. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we direct the Secretary General to read the title and text of Resolution Number 1288. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved. The Secretary General is now directed to read the title of the resolution.
House Resolution 1288, resolution informing the Senate of the Philippines that the House of Representatives has convened its second special session and has entered upon its exercise of its functions.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider House Resolution Number 1289 and direct the Secretary General to read the text and title of the same.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the Secretary General is now directed to read the title of the
House Resolution 1289, resolution informing the President of the Philippines that the House of Representatives has convened its second special session and has entered upon the exercise of its functions.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we are in receipt of a message from the President certifying the necessity of the immediate approval of House Bill Number 7727. I move that the Secretary General be directed to read said message. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the Secretary General is directed to read the title of the measure.
House Bill 7727, an act appropriating funds for the operation of the government of the Republic of the Philippines from January 1 to December 31, 2021, and for other purposes. Mr. Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Article 6, Section 26, second paragraph of the 1987 Constitution, I hereby certify to the necessity of the immediate enactment of House Bill Number 7727 in order to address the need to maintain continuous government operations following the end of the current fiscal year, strengthening efforts to respond more effectively to the COVID-19 pandemic and to support the initiatives toward national economic recovery. Best regards, very truly yours, the President Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to reconsider the approval on second reading of House Bill Number 7727.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move to reconsider the termination of the period of amendments of House Bill Number 7727.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the there is a motion to reconsider the termination of the period of amendments of House Bill Number 7727. Those who are in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And those who are against, please say nay. House Bill Number 7727 is now approved on second reading. Majority Leader.
So, Mr. Speaker, just to clarify, earlier we reconsidered the approval on second reading of House Bill Number 7727. The Ayes had it with no objection. Now, we just reconsidered the termination of the period of amendments of House Bill 7727. With no objection, the Ayes have it. And now, Mr. Speaker, I move to reconsider the termination of the period of sponsorship and debate of House Bill 7727. So move, Mr. Speaker.
There is a motion to reconsider the termination of the period of sponsorship and debate of House Number 7727. Those who are in favor of the motion, please say aye. And those who are against, please say nay. The ayes have it, the termination of the period of sponsorship and debate of House Bill Number 7727 is hereby reconsidered. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we consider on second reading House Bill number 7727 as contained in Committee Report number 528, and may we direct the Secretary General to read the title of the measure.
Is there any objection? The chair is none. The motion is approved. The Secretary General is now directed to read the title of the bill of the House Bill number 7727.
House Bill number 7727, an act appropriating funds for the operation of the government of the Republic of the Philippines from January 1 to December 31, 2021, and for other purposes.
Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, our parliamentary status is that we are in the period of sponsorship and debate. With
There
that,
any-
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend session for a few minutes.
Session suspended.
Mr. Speaker,
Session is resumed. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, earlier two resolutions were considered by the House. I move for their adoption. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, motion is approved. Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move for a few minutes suspension.
Session suspended.
The on behalf of the majority, I move to nominate and elect the Honorable Paulo Duterte as Chairman of the Committee on Accounts. So moved, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? There being none, motion is approved. The majority floor leader.
Mr. Speaker, our parliamentary status is that we are in the period of sponsorship and debate regarding House Bill 7727, the national budget. I move that we consider the proposed budget of the Civil Service Commission, and for this purpose, recognize its sponsor, the gentleman from the 2nd District of Bataan, the Honorable Joet Garcia. So move, Mr. Speaker.
Is there any objection? Chair hears none. Motion is hereby approved. The gentleman from the 2nd District of Bataan is hereby recognized. Please proceed.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker. I have the honor of sponsoring the budget of the Civil Service Commission. The CSC has a total of 1.791 billion in appropriations for fiscal year 2021. The allocation to the agency is broken down as follows: 1.428 billion for personal services, 346 million for maintenance and other operating expenditure, 9,000 for financial expenses, 16.4 billion for capital outlay. 16.4 million for capital outlay. The CSC, Mr. Speaker, is mandated to formulate policies and regulations for the administration, maintenance, and implementation of position classification and compensation, and set standards for the establishment, allocation, and reallocation of pay scales, classes, and positions. I would like to recognize, Mr. Speaker, the CSC officials who are here in this budget hearing. Chairperson Alicia De La Rosa Bala, Assistant Commissioner Ariel Ronquillo, Director 4 Helen Grace T. Ramos, as well as the other members of the CSC family. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Civil Service Commission family, headed by Chairperson Bala. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority floor leader.
Mr. Speaker, for his chance to interpellate the esteemed sponsor, I move to recognize the esteemed gentleman from the party list Bayan Muna, the Honorable Ferdinand Gaite. So move, Mr. Speaker.
The honorable gentleman from Bayan Muna party list is hereby recognized. Please proceed.
legislators sa House of Representatives. Marami po akong mga ilang tanong sa Civil Service Commission. Pahintulutan ba ng ating kagalang-galang sponsor na makapag-clarify sa mga policies ng CSC, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Sponsor?
It will be an honor, Mr. Speaker.
Maraming salamat po. Ang isa sa mga concern ng kinatawang ito ay ang usapin hinggil sa napipintong pagpapatupad, pag-implement ng CSC, Civil Service Commission, Commission on Audit, Department of Budget and Management, Joint Circular Number 1, Series of 2018. Ito po initially nilabas noong 2017 at inimendahan itong 2018 sa parehong number. Na essentially, come January 1, 2021, few months away, na inuutos ng mga kontraktual ay i-outsource na sa pamamagitan ng institutional contract of service. Ibig sabihin, idadaan na sa service contractor or service agency. Noong unang inilabas ang Joint Circular Number 1 noong 2017, tinutulan ito ng mga kawani. Kaya naman inilabas yung Joint Circular Number 1 noong 2018 na pareho rin alaman bagamat in-extend lang hanggang 2020 ang sinasabing direct hiring of government agencies of job orders and contract service. We are much very concerned dahil ngayon panahon ng pandemya, lumalaki ang pangangailangan ng government services. Sa tingin pa ng sponsor, Mr. Chair, tama ba at reasonable itong Joint Circular Number 1 na kabaligtaran sa utos ni Pangulong Duterte na dapat itigil ng i-end ang ENDO, ipatigil ang contractualization. And yet, the government is the main violator of this insidious policy of hiring government workers not as regular employees but as job orders and contract service na walang kasigurahan sa trabaho, Mr. Chair. So ano ho ba? Ano ho ba tingin ng ating kagalang-galang na sponsor dito sa inilabas ng pangunahin ng CSC kasama ang DBM at ang Commission on Audit, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Sponsor?
Sa nabanggit po ni Congressman Gaiten na joint circular, gusto ko lang po ipaalam na hindi na po kasama ang Civil Service Commission sa joint circular na ito. Pero ang alam po ng inyong lingkod ng kinatawan na to, na ito po ay they're contemplating to extend the validity of contract of service and job order workers, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Chair, do we have a firm commitment that this will be, ang position po, gusto ko lang clarify, no? Ang position po ng mga magagawa ay maging regular. Hindi, well, not just simply an extension of being job orders or contract service. Na alam naman natin, sa panahon nga ng pandemya, marami sa kanila ang nalagay sa panganib dahil as we all know, sila ang pinakamadaling i-let go. Kasi nga po, walang kasiguruhan sa trabaho. Do we have Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker, it was mentioned that they are now contemplating on extending the deadline. Ano po ba ang firm commitment dito? Sigurado po ba to o tulad nga na banggit ko, ang panawagan nga ng mga empleyado, sa halip na i-continue pa yung policy na ito, dapat bawiin, dapat i-rescind. Dahil ito ay talagang direktang paglabag sa kasigurahan sa trabaho sa gobyerno. And this has been thoroughly discussed here in Congress. We have bills filed for workers in the public sector as well as the private sector. And yet, especially in this time of pandemic, we cannot afford. Hindi pwedeng ma-afford na manggagawa na mawalan siya ng trabaho ngayon. At bilang job order, contract of service, sila na nga yung sinasabing pinaka-vulnerable. Sila yung pinaka-precarious ang katangian ng trabaho. Ano ho bang commitment na sa usapin na to? Sa minimum ay extend, sa maximum panawagan ng mga manggagawa at kawani ay ito ay ipatigil na sa kabuuan, Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Speaker, bukas po ang civil service sa question ng ating pong mga contract of service at job order workers ay ma-regularize. Ngunit sa tingin po ng civil service ay may kinakailangan pong batas upang ito po ay maisagawa. So as long as ang ating pong mga contract of service at job order workers ay qualified, nandyan po yung kanilang competency at sumusunod sa proseso para po ma-regularize, wala pong sang-ayon po ang civil service para po gawin yan. Pero katulad po ng aking nabanggit kanina, kinakailangan po meron tayong implementing law upang ito po ay maisagawa.
Salamat, Mr. Sponsor. Salamat, Mr. Speaker. At ito ay napakahalaga sa panahon ngayon. And just to expound on the extent nitong sinasabi nating contractualization sa manggagawa, ayon mismo sa datos ng Civil Service Commission sa kanilang IGHR o Inventory of Government Human Resources, there are about, as of August 31, 2020, there are 653,816 government employees who are considered job orders of contract service. I would like to repeat that. 653,816. On top of that, ito po yung job orders at contract of service who unfortunately are not even called employees of the government because they have no employee-employer relationship. O, sa kabilang bahagi, meron pa po tayong tinatawag na casuals at contractuals. Ang pagkakaiba nila, ito daw ay may employee-employer relationship. Pero ang parehong kalagayan, wala pa rin silang kasiguruhan sa trabaho. And they number 127,047 personnel as of August 31. So cumulatively, we have more than 700, almost 800,000, Mr. Chair, Mr. Sponsor. Ganun karami ang kabuang bilang ng mga kawani sa loob ng pamahalaan na walang kasiguruhan sa trabaho. At nakakapangamba na sinasabi na kailangan pa ng batas. As I believe, there are truly laws. Our party list, Bayan Muna, together with the Makabayan Dakal, has already filed this bill. And it's been pending with the Office of Commission Committee on Civil Service. And various versions are being tackled as we speak. Unfortunately, hindi pa rin to aprobado. Pero nakakapangamba na nalalapit na yung date na January 1, 2021, ay matatapos na itong muling pinangangambahan ng maraming kawani sa loob ng pamahalaan. So ang nais na marinig ng mga kawani sa kasalukuyan, sa minimum nga ay ito ay masuspinde at sa maximum ay bawiin. At sa halip na ipatupad ito sa nalalapit na datos, madaliin ang panukalang batas at nabanggit nyo na po na merong hinahantay yung batas. Matanong ko po, Mr. Sponsor, Mr. Speaker, sumasang-ayon ba na magkaroon na po tayo sa kagyat ng panukalang ng pag-aproba ng batas na naglalayong ang mga kawaning walang kasiguruhan sa trabaho ngayon, bunga na nga rin ng sinasabing kanilang experience sa trabaho. Nabanggit ko po kasi kanina kung wala silang qualifications, no? And I would believe otherwise kasi hindi sila ma-hire as job orders of contract or contract of service kung wala silang minimum na qualifications na nire-require ng trabaho ng gobyerno. Kahit sa pinakamaliit na uri ng trabaho hanggang sa pinakamataas. So Mr. Chair, Mr. Sponsor, sumasang-ayon ba ang ating galang-galang na sponsor na sa kagyat sa pinakamadaling panahon ay maaprubahan ang batas nito para yung 800,000 na kawani sa loob ng pamahalaan ay makinabang na eventually ng kanilang kasiguruhan sa trabaho, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Sponsor.
Mr. Speaker, yung atin pong napag-uusapan na kung meron pong batas na maipapanukala, kung meron pong panukalang batas na lalabas ho mula dito sa ating mababang kapulungan at pati ho sa Senado, yan po ay makakatulong para ho sa plight ng ating mga contract of service and job order workers. Pero habang yan po ay wala pa, ang suggestion po ng civil service ay yung iba't iba pong mga national government agencies na binanggit po kanina na umaabot po sa 127,000 ang mga COS or JO workers, ang maari pong suhestyon ay sila ay magbigay, ang mga ahensya ibigay po sa DBM ang mga posisyon na dapat makreate upang ang mga COS or job order workers na ito ay mabigyan ng pagkakataon upang po ma-regularize. So nasa kanya-kanya pong